Kausalya Devi Dasi. Kausalya, aged 19, was looking for spiritual realization. When she first met Srila Prabhupada, she immediately knew that he could answer all her questions. The thing that struck me the most about Srila Prabhupada when I first met him was his kindness, warmth, wisdom, and love. At that time, I didn't know there was a Hare Krishna movement. I was fortunate to go to India in 1970 with Malati, Yamuna, Himavati, Madri, and baby Saraswati. There were only 6 women in the initial party, and Prabhupada cared so much about us that wherever we went, he'd ask, "Where are the women?" In Amritsar, the Sheikh's holy city, the devotees and Prabhupada were assigned 2 small ashram rooms. Prabhupada said, "Well, of course the girls will take one room, and I will take the other room, and the rest of you, all the men, can sleep on the grounds." He made sure that we were always taken care of and protected. Prabhupada never made me feel like a second-class citizen because I was female. Quite the contrary. In those days, I didn't know I was female. I didn't think of myself as a female or male. I thought of myself as Prabhupada's servant. When we were around him, he empowered us to lose our bodily designations. He gave us enough vision and strength to realize we are spirit souls and that these bodies are merely the soul's temporary housing. When we were with Prabhupada, it was a can-do situation. It was not, "Oh, they're women, they can't do it." No, Prabhupada was 100% behind our ability to succeed. In December of 1971, we were in the Dharmashala in Delhi during the war between Pakistan and India. Every night there were blackouts and Prabhupada was getting frustrated because we were sitting in the dark and he wasn't lecturing. As a surprise, I put black paper on the windows, and that night when I turned on the lights, Prabhupada beamed and said, "This is first-class intelligence. First-class intelligence is you see a need and you do it. Second-class intelligence is I tell you what to do and you do it nicely. Third-class intelligence is I tell you what to do and you say, 'Yes, Prabhupada,' run out and then come back and say, 'What was I supposed to do?'" In the Calcutta temple, when I brought Prabhupada his fruit plate, he was sitting alone on the floor of his room. I said, "Srila Prabhupada, why are you sitting on the floor?" He said, "Because the mosquitoes have taken my asana." I said, do you want me to get a fan?" He said, "No, that is all right. The floor is very comfortable." He said, "Kausalya, we should go to the bank of the Ganges, chant Hare Krishna, and someone will come along and bring us a chapati. Is that all right?" I laughed and left. Prabhupada had a tremendously heavenly sense of humour. He made us laugh. When he was lecturing or debating, he was grave, but in personal relations, he was warm and funny. Once I was complaining to Prabhupada about some criticism going on. I said, "I don't want to have to deal with my godbrother saying these things about me. I just want to be left alone." He said, "Kausalya, why are you complaining? One little criticism and you are complaining. Look what I have to tolerate. You are looking for a calm sea, and you will not find it here in this material world. You will only find it when you are with Krishna." Another time, in front of a group of 100 people, he said, "Kausalya, you sing the Ishopanishad for them." I sang the whole Ishopanishad as Prabhupada watched me, beaming. He had so much presence that when he smiled, his face lit a room. When I finished, he said, "Come here," and patted his knee. I started to pay my obeisances, and he took my head, put it in his lap, and pat my head and back. He said, "You did very, very well." It was sweet. Prabhupada sent Srimati and me to Jaipur to purchase marble deities for several temples in the United States. In Jaipur, we met the pujaris of Govindaji's temple and other leading people who, on hearing about Srila Prabhupada from us, he said, "We'd love to meet your guru." Wealthy persons in Jaipur contributed funds to pay for Prabhupada and a group of devotees to come to Jaipur for a Pandal program, which is where Tamal Krishna took sannyas. Prabhupada was pleased that 2 women in a city that had never been being too, were able to manifest a Pandal program. It was the only ISKCON Pandal that Prabhupada didn't pay for. It was entirely financed by local people, and Prabhupada said that this should be a standard for ISKCON. Prabhupada empowered us. He didn't say you're only women, you cannot do it. Time and time again, Prabhupada broke the rules. He was quite the rebel. In India, we did things that women didn't do. Yamuna led huge public kirtans. Malati and Himavati spoke before huge crowds. I did artis in public. We were empowered because Prabhupada didn't place limitations on us. Srila Prabhupada empowered his daughters in the same way that he empowered everyone. He didn't make a distinction. In all of the many times that I spent with Srila Prabhupada, at no point did I feel that he saw me as a woman. Prabhupada saw us all as spirit souls. The greatest form of respect and love for Srila Prabhupada is to emulate, not imitate, his qualities. His need to emulate his fearlessness. We should be fearless as we go forward in our spiritual and material life. We should be fearless with our efforts to teach people about Krishna. If there are any bodily limitations placed on anyone, they should be removed. Until we are free to be spirit souls, until we are free to manifest ourselves to our fullest destiny, the movement cannot grow as it should. Women are an important and integral part of this movement. Women have a balancing energy that has been neglected and ignored. Prabhupada's movement will grow and mature beautifully with all our wonderful Vaishnav energies combined.